Hey, what's going on guys? KiWi here. Thank you all so much for the insane amount of support in my last video that I posted. I can still tell that D.Va is a really popular hero in Overwatch 2, and I wanted to make more videos, hopefully continuing to help you guys. Before getting into the video, I just wanted to let you all know that I stream some nights on Twitch. Link is in the description if you want to ask me any questions or just come chill with me while I play some games. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. So obviously, if you watch my previous D.Va guide, you can tell that there are some things that are outdated. I was a little upset with this, but I mean, it is what it is. Blizzard updated their game. There's not much I can do. I wanted to really quickly jump into the things that I wanted to talk about, dealing with how she is different. But for the numbers, like the general things about D.Va and like her abilities and cooldowns and damage and all that stuff, like you can look that up online. I'm mainly going to be talking about her playstyle and how those things are different in Overwatch 2. So the first thing that we can obviously tell is that one friend in your 6 stack who queued tank with you back in Overwatch 1, you probably have him playing Valorant or something now, like all alone, because obviously you have to kick him out because Blizzard doesn't like 2 tanks. But yeah, now you're riding solo. You have 1 tank. So you're solo tanking as D.Va in Overwatch 2, leaving some of the information in my previous guide with some questions that some of you even asked in the comments. And I thank you for asking me in the comments because it gave me content to actually put into a video and answer more in depth. I'll answer some of those in this video, but first off, I wanted to give my general thoughts on D.Va in Overwatch 2. First of all, they really buffed D.Va. And the abilities aren't the only thing that they buff. God damn. Anyways, so yeah, D.Va's pretty much the best tank in the game right now, in my opinion. She's super fun to play, and she dominates in the meta, which currently includes Sombra and Zarya, 2 heroes that would have previously hard countered her. That just, you know, she's in a great spot when her absolute counter Zarya can't really shut her out too much. She is super fun to play, in my opinion. That being said though, she is very different. The way you ult is different, the way you play is different, the way you protect your team is also different. The one main thing that was throwing me off the most was the fact that your melee doesn't cancel your boosters anymore. I don't know how many times I was trying to pull off the D.Va tech I showed in my last video and just kept boosting through people. I always just forgot that. It's alright though. It's not as bad as it seems, and I've got you all covered. So, solo tanking. We could have never imagined D.Va solo tanking, except maybe in Overwatch 1 when D.Va first got that 300 health, 300 armor rework, making her the most OP character in the game pretty much. I miss those times, man. Blizzard has thankfully made solo tanking on D.Va pretty much just as fun. D.Va's OP, she does it all. The way she's balanced is completely catered towards solo tanking. It's just so satisfying knowing that Blizzard made her playable in a 1 tank meta. Just let that sink in. Blizzard never does anything right. I think the way you get to play her is a lot more selfish in Overwatch 2 on any hero really. Like, you can just play selfish on pretty much anybody. Your supports heal so much, and with Kiriko in the game now, you have more invulnerability. I don't know if I'm that washed at DPS, but trying to kill most supports now as DPS is really hard. So I think you can trust your teammates a bit more to fend for themselves in this game and be more of a frontline bruiser. You still want to play in the front of your team and still want to make sure that you're keeping an eye on your supports so they aren't getting completely obliterated by everyone. But a good D.Va is always a jack of all trades. So who does D.Va counter now? Well, D.Va still counters the same people I mentioned in the last video, but there are some more I wanted to mention as well. The matchup portion of that video remains pretty much unchanged. You can still eat a Roadhog hook to save your teammates, you can still eat Zarya Grav, and you're still able to use Defense Matrix to eat a lot of projectiles. And now that the only full CC stuns in the game are like Ryan Charge, Roadhog hook, and Honest Sleep, you won't be getting abused by your big hitbox anymore. You won't be used as a stun bot, and it feels so fluid and seamless to play D.Va without all this hard CC, and honestly props to Blizzard for real. The one thing I will say is that big hitboxes of other tanks don't generate as much ultimate charge anymore, but to be honest, that's totally okay because the way D.Va ult works in the game now is completely different, and I'll explain that later. You can still 100% counter Pharah if you have good mechanics. I was actually bullying a Pharah so hard the other day as D.Va, and it feels even better now because you can fly up really high with your extended boosters to catch her, and her defense matrix is also up for longer now, so you can make sure to eat all of Pharah's ult. Bastion is still a really good character for D.Va to counter. I'm pretty sure her defense matrix completely eats Bastion's turret form since it's a duration ability now instead of just another form completely. You can now also eat Bastion's new ultimate. I can't get any footage of that since Blizzard literally deleted him from the game as I'm recording this. Rest in peace, Bastion. Zenyatta and Mercy are still favorable matchups for D.Va because even with Zenyatta's new boop with his melee, you can still do a lot of damage to him, and his his hitbox is still really small and circular. Mercy is a bit more slippery in Overwatch 2, but if you read her correctly, you can still get a lot of value out of focusing her and diving her. Someone else I wanted to add to this list is Sombra. Sombra is really, really good. Arguably one of the best heroes in Overwatch 2 right now, but D.Va can be so good at searching for Sombra while she's invisible. And what I mean by that is just that one of D.Va's pellets need to hit her to reveal her from her invisibility. You also only get hacked for 1 second with the new Sombra, so you can use Defense Matrix more to eat Sombra's primary fire, which does a lot of damage. You can also use Defense Matrix on a teammate that is hacked to prevent them from getting shot, since they'll now be taking 50% more damage from all sources if they're hacked. So now, who counters D.Va? Well, no one really, and I'm not even joking when I say that. She's in such a good spot right now, I can't really think of anyone who's an unfavorable matchup against her. Some of the characters that don't really counter her but make it more annoying to play would be Doomfist and Orisa, since Doomfist Punch can now stop D.Va's ultimate completely, and Orisa's Javelin can do the same. In general, characters have more survivability in this game, so don't expect to kill everyone you dive. Slippery characters are still relatively hard to kill with D.Va if you don't burst them down in the few seconds they're unable to get away, such as Kiriko, Moira, and Lucio. So yeah, now getting into D.Va's ultimates. Both of D.Va's ultimates should be played with differently, and since this is a general guide for now, I'll go over some of the changes and some tips. But if you guys would like a more in-depth guide for her ultimate, like I have made in the past, let me know and I'll get on that as well. So for D.Va's self-destruct, it's not very practical in Overwatch 2 anymore, sadly. It's very, very situational, much more than it was in Overwatch 1. There is another invulnerability ability in the game being Kiriko's E, and characters just move faster in this game. Everything's a lot more fast-paced. Getting big bombs is definitely not impossible, but it's also not as practical or common as Overwatch 1. Without a second tank, using Sigma ult, Rhine ult, Zarya ult are all out of the question when it comes to trying to combo D.Va's self-destruct with anything else. For me personally, I feel like I got a lot more value out of D.Va in her mech than I do with her ultimate in Overwatch 2, but in Overwatch 1 I could say the complete opposite. I used to play D.Va for her ultimate's multi-kill ability. Now I have learned that you kind of have to use it as a point clear ability and something that gives you another chance at life. Leaving D.Va ult on a payload, leaving it by the robot in the new push game mode, and in general using it in a place where you get to zone out enemies from entering to get them off point or to be scared to push through a choke is the best possible option for D.Va ult in Overwatch 2. In Overwatch 2, D.Va is strong for her insane amount of damage, health, mitigation, and movement, not really for her ult anymore. If you get out of your mech, a sure way to make sure you get all of those things back is using self-destruct as your mech gets destroyed. This causes people to have to run away, leaving you in a safe spot to deploy another full health mech so you can play more D.Va. By no means am I saying to never throw it into a team fight, but it's no longer an engage ultimate. It's more of a saving grace and something that zones out areas very well. So you just have to be mindful of how different it is to use self-destruct in Overwatch 2. D.Va has a second ultimate, but I assume you knew this already. The Call Mech ultimate is actually really strong in this game. When the mech falls, it deals 250 damage instantly to the area around where it was called in, almost like a mini self-destruct. There are actually some really good instances to use this ultimate, such as when you get your mech back after using self-destruct. A good scenario to really put this into action would be using your self-destruct to clear a control point. You can head near an exit. If people manage to escape when the ultimate explodes, you can call mech in the doorway to prevent them from entering site again, potentially killing one or two in the process. I've seen so many call mech kills in Overwatch 2, and I wanted to reiterate how strong it is in this game and how overlooked it is. Perfecting this ability is really niche, but very valuable. With Kiriko now in the game, you can literally run into all 5 of the enemies as mini D.Va, getting marked invincible by Kiriko's E, dropping your mech into all of them, and getting a lot of damage, if not a lot of kills. I recommend trying this out if you can get your team to cooperate, but it's okay. I know how hard it can be to get 4 other people to actually, you know, work together as a team. So yeah, a little bit of a short video. I think that about wraps up Overwatch 2 D.Va. I've been having a blast playing this game, and D.Va is in such a good spot. So if you're new to the game or even a veteran like me, definitely consider picking up D.Va right now, because you never know when Blizzard will nerf her to the ground. It's happened a million times before. Although her playstyle is a bit different, she is still the same mecha pilot we all know and love. And as usual, playing the game and getting used to it is one of the best ways to improve. If you have any more questions, feel free to join my Discord or ask in my Twitch chat when I stream, or simply just leave a comment like you did in my last video. Thanks everyone for the insane amount of support. If you took at least one thing away from this video, I would really appreciate a like and possibly a sub if you have the time. It's been KiWi, guys. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.
the dashboard. Wonder